Cavaliers. We're at the Johan Cruyff Stadium today for a very special occasion. It's an open doors training session for young members, for those who, due to the pandemic, haven't been able to go to Camp Nou to line up for the pre-game picture with Barca's starting 11. The club decided that these kids deserved an experience with the first team, so here we are. Full training session live here on Barça TV Plus and on YouTube. Joining me here today is Bruno Ballester. Bruno, we usually get to watch the first 15 minutes of the training sessions, but today we're getting the full experience. We were supposed to be out there, but it started raining, so we decided to come inside.
Yes, hello everyone. A fantastic experience today, I think, to have the possibility to enjoy a 1 hour training session at the Johan Cruyff Stadium with all these kids that, after all the pandemic, we're not able to take the official picture with the rest of the squad. Well, at least today that they're going to have these brilliant experiences. Just some thousands of lucky kids around Barcelona and Catalonia that will have this possibility today, and of course, experience that they will never forget, and probably tomorrow in schools they will explain to all their friends.
Exactly. You can see that the training pitch is ready. We're only waiting for the players to come over. This is scheduled to start at 7 p.m. and I can see one of the vans driving down the ramp there at Ciutat Esportiva. So that means that the first lot of players will probably be making an appearance shortly here at the Johan Cruyff Stadium. We've been told that this is going to last for about an hour. So we're going to be with you here, fans on Barça TV Plus and YouTube, showing you this full training session in preparation for a very big game on Saturday, Bruno, against Sevilla. Obviously, this one's for the fans, but it's also important preparation.
Yes, I mean, this is for the fans, but at the same time, preparations for the game against Sevilla. This is not a pre-season training session, for example, or anything similar. This is an important one, because on Saturday, Barça traveling to Sevilla. They need 3 more points to continue battling in the top part of the standings of La Liga. And for sure that Xavi and all the players will take really seriously this training session. Here we see all the players arriving to the Johan Cruyff Stadium, that is meters away from the training grounds at the Ciutat Esportiva.
All the available players, plus the training staff, making an appearance here on the training grounds, led by Captain Sergio Busquets, Jordi Alba as well, Marc-André ter Stegen, Ferran Torres, Pedri, Araujo, Ansu Fati, Rafinha, Sergi Roberto, who scored a goal the other day late in the game in the win against Valladolid, Gavi, Piqué, Iñaki Peña, Eric, and the scorer of a brace last Sunday at the Spotify Camp Nou, Robert Lewandowski. What a performance by him.
Incredible game, the one that Lewandowski played. Well, incredible at the Camp Nou. Incredible also at Anoeta. 4 goals in 3 La Liga games. Top scorer of La Liga. Sharing that first spot with Borja Iglesias from Real Betis. And now Barca's anthem, sounding in the Johan Cruyff Stadium today, not in the Tito Vilanova pitch. That is the place where we are used to commentate all training sessions.
Obviously, this is an unusual training session, one open to these young members. Reminder, these are young members who were supposed to have their picture taken before the games during the pandemic in the 2021 season and 21-22. They obviously weren't able to do it due to the restrictions, and now they get the possibility to come and watch this live training session to see their idols from very close range from the stands here at the Estadi Johan Cruyff.
It's fantastic, Robert, to see all these stands with all these kids, the excitement of all these youngsters that they want to have this experience today. And it's just brilliant to see new generations, the ones that now are having the luck, I think, to be experiencing a Barça that it's exciting everyone, and not probably the team that 2-3 years ago was not in their best. Now things seems to be changing absolutely, what we are seeing in all official games, with all signings and all the young players coming from La Masia.
Well, it looks like it's cleared up a little bit, because just 20 minutes ago it was pouring with rain, Bruno, here at the Estadi Johan Cruyff. We've got the little tunnel there for Gavi. Is that for his 50th appearance? That game against Valladolid, 50 games for Barca at the young age of 18. Already 50
Yes, because it was his birthday first week of August, so not for normally they do these kind of tunnels for when it's your birthday, when you have a contract extension, or in this case for the number of appearances. 50 appearances for Gavi in the first team seems to
ridiculous.
be
I mean, just age of 18. By the way, I was looking at a tweet before, Bruno, and today is 3 years Since what? I'm asking you a question. I'll ask the live chat as well, because we're obviously on YouTube. Today marks a 3rd anniversary of a little milestone for one of our first team players. Does anyone know what I'm talking about?
I'm completely blanked. No idea. You're talking about a record from an individual player?
It is something that an individual player did on the 31st of August of 2019. Does anyone know on the live chat what I am talking about? Yes, the Sion Main says the right answer is easy as well. It's Ansu Fati's first goal at El Sadar.
Okay. Yeah, now of course I remember that.
At the age of 16, he is now 19.
Brilliant goal, yes. He's now 19. He's one of the crucial players in the forward line for Barca. Coming from the bench in these 3 first La Liga games, here we see this partnership between Lewandowski and Ansu Fati. They are having a great relationship in these first weeks at the club for Lewandowski in this case. And well, if Ansu has to learn about Lewandowski, and Lewandowski also I think can learn some things about Ansu. I mean, they are both really good players, although there's a big gap of age between both of them. But yeah, we love to see always together Ansu Fati and Robert Lewandowski. And we also love Ronald Araujo, always a committed player. And
highly praised by Xavi Hernandez after the game against Valladolid, was taken off because he had a yellow card. By the way, on the live chat, lots of correct answers to the question I was asking about Ansu Fati scoring his first goal 3 years ago today. Offbeat Diary, Shubham Sharma, Shrino as well. Where was it? Shika Army as well. And there was a comment here from Prama 22-24, Prama 22-24, says estoy en el campo. Pues saludos, pues aquí estamos también nosotros. Here we are at the Estadio Johan Cruyff, Memphis, doing some stretching exercises there. And the team obviously coming off of 2 great performances, Bruno, with 4 goals in each game.
Yes, now we see all of them warming up before starting the proper session with ball exercises. Here we see Abde, and yeah, fantastic performances after, of course, the 0-0 draw against Rayo Vallecano at Spotify Camp Nou. Yeah, we were all really excited, and we left from that game with kind of negative feelings because it was not what everyone was expecting. But I think after the fantastic win 4-1 in Anoeta and then this 4-0 up against Valladolid, I think we are all again once again excited with this squad. And here we see also all these kids that they one wants a picture with Ter Stegen and the other one with shirt.
Pedri, with a Pedri shirt, exactly. Yeah. 2 idols there. Got a question on the live chat here from Shashank Shekhar. Says, who's stretching with Araujo? We saw Araujo stretch. I didn't quite see who it was that was stretching with him. I mean, if we were out there on the pitch, we'd be able to see Bruno, but we'd have to move inside after the heavy rain that was falling upon us. There's Ousmane Dembele. What a start to the season he's had. I've got a couple of curious facts from Ousmane Dembele. Araujo is stretching with Rafinha, by the way. It was the answer to that question. A couple of curious facts. Ousmane Dembele, he is, let me get my notes here. The player who has dribbled the most times in La Liga, a total of 19 in 3 games, and the player who's created the most chances in La Liga, a total of 10. Ousmane Dembele, on top of that, has 1 goal and 2 assists.
Yes, he's a player that always creates magic in football from his foot, because you never know what he can do. He has many talent, and yeah, he has different resources, and in the end that's something really important for a football player, to have different resources. That's why Xavi loves him. That's why in the day of his presentation of Xavi as a new manager said that he can be best player in the world in his position if he continues growing. He still has a young age. He's 25 years old. So nowadays, normally footballers, they arrive at their best around 30. So he still needs to grow a lot, but he's starting, I think, feeling this confidence from Xavi, from the rest of the teammates, that can be a key one, providing assists and probably scoring goals. That is this aspect that we are all expecting to increase his record. But well, in pre-season he scored 4 now in the league, won in 3 games, so it seems to be improving these registers also about scoring goals.
Also connections with Robert Lewandowski. We've seen him exchange positions very naturally and fit in very well with Rafinha as well. Xavi talked after the game the other day about how it is that he changes their positions sometimes. He says sometimes they do it themselves. So after a corner kick, they change positions and they just stay, one on the right, one on the left. He did say that with Balde making deep runs down the left flank, he felt that maybe Rafinha was best fitted to play on the left later on in the first half, because Rafinha can play inside a little bit more than Dembélé. Otherwise, it's just like 2 players who stick out on the wing. But I mean, they both had incredible performances. Rafinha provided the assist for the first goal, Dembélé for the second and third. So, I mean, I want to know the fans' opinions as well on the fact that we're playing with 2 natural wingers. Do you like it? Do you like this partnership of Rafinha and Dembélé playing on the right and left wing?
Yes, in the end, it's all about having different options, different resources. That's what a manager always wants, because there are many different rivals, many different ways of playing during a season, and this is something really, really important. Now we see players making these rondos, traditional ones, always in the first minutes of the training session to continue warming up a little bit. There are 2 goals in the pitch of the Johan Cruyff Stadium, so we are expecting to see also some small or little games between players in the final part of these preparations before next challenge that will be, as we have been saying, Saturday 9 p.m. Central European time in the Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan down in Sevilla. Sevilla team that had a busy transfer market. They lost, of course, crucial players in defense like Diego Carlos and Koundé, and they have frenetic final hours to see if they can improve their squad.
And it looks like they're not done, exactly. Some players could leave. Obviously, we're seeing rumours. Some players could arrive. Saw that Januzaj is in Sevilla already, so we'll have to see if that gets done in the end. So we could be facing a very different team on Saturday to the one that we saw last weekend against Almeria in the 2-1 defeat. I saw the highlights of that game, and Sevilla could have won, definitely. They had very good chances that were saved by the Almeria keeper, Fernando. But they haven't had the best start of the season, to be honest. 1 point out of 9, just 1 draw against Valladolid, 2 away defeats.
Yes, so they need to start getting the points, of course, if they want to continue fighting for Champions League spots or Europa League spots, as they did in final seasons. So, well, we will have to see. Frenetic hours for all the football department down in Sevilla. This season, well, Nianzou, one of the big signings of this summer for them, centre-back coming from Bayern Munich, 16 million euros, and one player that is supposed to be leading this Sevilla defense arrived a week ago, so we still have to see if he will start or not on Saturday. He's still adapting, of course, to the team, as well as Marcao, another of the signings from Galatasaray.
Yep. So scored against us last year.
Exactly, we know him quite well, as we played twice against Galatasaray in the round of 16 of the Europa League. And then Isco, who was a free agent after ending his contract with Real Madrid, a player that Lopetegui wanted a lot. And after spending 1 month without the team, first week of August was confirmed that was going to be part of Sevilla's squad. And Alex Telles, left back from Man United on loan, and also a good player. Probably, I would say left back is like one of the positions that they have with best players, with Acuña and Telles in this case. But as we said, they lost Jules Koundé, they lost Diego Carlos. Luc de Jong moved to PSV and was on loan for Barça, but was property of Sevilla. And Alejandro Pozo, who is playing now for Almeria. So important players that also left the club.
And we'll see what happens with Ocampos as well by the end of the transfer market. Mary Ifeni says, hi, please reply to me. It will make me happy. Well, there we go. Reply sent. I want to know where the fans are watching us from as well. And one of them was asking a scoreline for the game against Sevilla on Saturday at the Sanchez Pizjuan. I mean, Sevilla haven't started well, but a visit to the Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan is never an easy task. Just remember what happened last season, and Barca weren't at their best when we visited them in the month of November, right before Christmas, and it was a Ronald Araujo equalizer that saved the point there, but it was a very impressive performance. One of the best, or one of the first great performances of this Xavi team away from home.
Yes, and against a big team, of course, as always, is Sevilla. No? There's massive respect to the club from Andalucía. There was also a huge rainy day down in Seville on December, and yeah, although Sevilla have started badly this year's league, it's going to be always a tough game. In match day 4, they are really interesting games. Since Super Saturday in La Liga, of course, because Champions League is starting next week on Tuesday. But yeah, there is a Madrid-Betis in the Bernabeu.
Betis, who started great as well, the only other team to have won everything.
Exactly. So both teams with 9 points facing each other. There's also Atlético de Madrid against Real Sociedad, also a big clash. So, well, it will be interesting to see this Super Saturday. But yeah, Madrid, Betis, and Sevilla, Barça, we can say are both big games of week 4. And as you know, in capital of Andalucía, in Sevilla, people are really football lovers. There is a big passion there, and the rivalry also between Sevilla and Betis. Well, in this case now,
obviously
the white and greens are in form, 9 points, just one for Sevilla. It also happens a little bit like with Barça and Real Madrid, that when one of the teams are winning, the other one is like in a worse scenario. Well, there's this point that between both of them, a season can be a good one or a bad one, depending a little bit on your rival. It sometimes happens between Barça and Madrid. Well, same happens in Sevilla. And in this case now, Betis seems to be the number 1 down in the south of Spain. But of course, this season is really long, and this has just started.
More things on the Saturday game. Jules Koundé more than likely will be in the lineup. He had a fantastic debut. He played the other day in the place of Andreas Christensen, who was unavailable for the team, out with a fever. He should be all right for Saturday. But Jules Koundé, a fantastic performance that he had on the day of his debut, starting as a right back, playing as centre back as well. He created a couple of chances as well. He made runs down the right flank. In fact, Xavi said that he's a player who can play all along the defensive line. He's got great character. He's a player who can mark an era, says Xavi. He's got leadership but calmness at the same time. And his distribution is great. The way he plays the ball out from behind is something that Xavi looks for in defenders, and I think he's going to be a huge plus for the team in that sense.
Yes, and of course having tough weeks for Koundé, because when you are a new player for Barça, but you see as you cannot be registered due to all the fair play and the financial situations, well, for sure he has suffered difficult weeks, but he showed in the official debut at the Camp Nou for Barça, that he's absolutely informed, that he's ready for all these challenges for this season, and we expect him to be in the lineup or to have some minutes for sure in the game against Sevilla. I'm quite curious to see how they're going to receive him, Jules Koundé, because in the end has been a really important player for Sevilla, but it's true at the same time that hasn't spent too many time there. So it will be interesting to see it. But Koundé, on the other hand, has left 50 million euros in the Sevilla's economy. So has been an important signing for sure.
And some amazing performances throughout his Sevilla career. And we hope that translates into Barca. The other day, another stat for Koundé: 54 completed passes, 20 of them in the last third of the pitch, which means that he was playing very high up. There is Andreas Christensen, who, as we said, missed the game last Sunday at the Spotify Camp Nou, but should be available to play on Saturday. Don't worry about that cough that we just saw on screen as the warm-up exercises continue. Right behind him is Ansu Fati, who started all 3 games from the bench, but I do get the sense that Xavi and the coaching staff are taking their time. Xavi said the other day after the game against Valladolid that we're on the right track with Ansu. He can make the difference even in just half an hour. He was sidelined for a very long time. It's just a process. He's happy, and we're following a process, being very, very careful.
Yes, because we always are worried when we don't see a top player in the starting lineup, and we say, well, why he's not playing if he's one of the best players? But at the same time, the impact that one of the best players can make into the game if he enters in second half, it's also crucial. And I'm just, for example, in basketball, the starting 5 are never the best players always. I mean, you have to balance and and manage all the game. And same happens, I think, in football. Of course, you want to have the best in the field, but sometimes half an hour of a top player can be better than 90 minutes from another one. So in this aspect, well, Ansu Fati is having a fantastic impact, and are these kind of different players, Ansu, Dembélé, Rafinha, that of course if they start it's great, but on the other hand, if they come from the bench,
the opponent has to be worried.
Exactly, the opponent suffers because you don't know how to defend him. He changes also the way of playing, and it's important, I think, to have both options, to start with top players, but at the same time to have good substitutes.
I'm going to go into a topic that I think is interesting here as well in this start of La Liga, off of what you just said about Ansu, which is the different lineups that Xavi has put out there. He's got a deeper squad, it's what he wanted, and he's got more variety, he's got more players to pick from. Fortunately, everyone is healthy at the moment, so in that sense, Xavi has a difficult task as well. He has to pick just 11 out of more than 20. He's put out different lineups in all 3 games, and there are only 3 players, who have played the full 270 minutes plus added time, of course, who have played the full time in all 3 games. I'm going to ask you, Bruno, who are those 3 players? I'm going to ask the live chat as well. So give it a little think, give it time to the live chat as well to send in their answers. Just 3 players who have played the full 90 minutes in all 3 games.
I have 2 of them. I'm thinking about the third one.
Well, one's easy.
Yeah, Marc ter Stegen.
It never gets replaced.
Yeah. Then Eric Garcia.
Eric Garcia is correct.
In what 3 games he has played.
Sensational. We'll get into Eric in a minute.
And I will say, I think I also have the third one. Someone in the forward line. New signing this summer, and we have it on screens, Robert Lewandowski.
There he is, yes. And on our live chat, some correct answers. Everyone is fully aware of this. Redouane Ahmed is it. Oliver Dembélé. I wonder if Dembélé is the real surname of Oliver Dembélé. Who else? Shemaya Gaza as well. So correct answers in that sense. And I think it's very good news that in 3 games, there are only 3 players left who have played the full 90 minutes in all 3 games.
Yes, because we are in a exceptional year. It's the first one where the World Cup is going to be played during season. And well, it's going to be now, it's the only clean week, I will say, with no game in midweek, this one, until, well, international break last week of September, and then in October, 9 games in 30 days. It's going to be crazy. So, the importance to manage well your squad, to have possibilities to balance the different charges, physically talking about all these players are going to be really important. Well, now we see this also possession. That is also a kind of a classic
possession game,
exercise
passing game,
in FC Barcelona with 3 teams.
And you can see the intensity of the pressure, which is something that Xavi wants, intense pressure to win the ball back quickly.
Yes, and many players in a really small space, as we are seeing, because there are practically the whole squad is there, divided into 3 teams. The yellow bib, the red bib, and the ones without bib, like Robert Lewandowski.
There he is.
In a small space, we see more than 20 players there, and well, he wants to make this kind of exercise to see how the team continues. And here we see ter Stegen.
Should we talk a little bit about ter Stegen? Because I mean, we've seen a huge difference. I'm not ever going to criticize Marc-Andre ter Stegen, but there has been a difference in the way that things have gone so far this season with his performances. 8 saves, some of them crucial to save points against Rayo Vallecano, against Real Sociedad as well. That low save with his left hand against David Silva. Another clean sheet the other day at the Spotify Camp Nou, making saves when it was 3-0, but I mean, you still want to keep the clean sheet. Ter Stegen looks sharp, he looks agile, he's got good reflexes, and he's back to his old self.
Yes, of course, a goalkeeper, although sometimes we understand or we think that are kind of not part of the squad, but he's one more player of the squad. And last season, of course, things were not in the best situation for Barca. And when all the team suffers, goalkeeper also suffers.
Yes.
So when the dynamic of the team is a negative one, goalkeeper also is in a negative one. And now I think there's an aspect here that, of course, this has changed now. The atmosphere is much, much better in the locker room as some important players have arrived, as the results are improving, as the game that we are seeing also is improving a lot. And for sure, this is also affecting Ter Stegen in the positive way now. So he sees that now has a top striker like Lewandowski up front. There is a fantastic defense after signing of Jules Koundé and Christensen that also is crucial to have a fantastic defense for a goalkeeper. So he has this confidence in his defenders and at the same time confidence in himself, confidence of the team. And I think that all these different inputs are, the fact and
Definitely.
to see that Ter Stegen is being a key one in these first 3 weeks.
Push-ups for the team in blue after losing that exercise. I want to know on the live chat, rate Marc-Andre Ter Stegen's start of the season from 1 to 10. I'd say it's a 9 out of 10 just because we conceded a goal against Real Sociedad, which he really couldn't do much about because it comes off of 2 rebounds. The pass through to Isaac goes off of Christensen, which enables Isaac to make the run. And then Eddie Garcia goes in well, diving in for the tackle to clear away the ball, but the ball bounces off of Eddie, Isaac, and kind of loops over to Stegen.
Yeah, it was a kind of an unlucky goal, the one that Barca conceded. I'm going to say that Ter Stegen has saved a point against Rayo because there were key saves there, and without him probably, well, of course, Barca also had the chances to score goals, but on the other hand, Ter Stegen was crucial to save this point. And against Real Sociedad, in the key moments when the game was 1-1 and tight and all
late
square.
In the first half,
he also saved 2 or 3 key ones that then were crucial to see Barca scoring the 3 goals in the second half and ending with a 4-1 up. So Ter Stegen, almost 3 points I think has won so far from the 7. Has been crucial in both games, first and second one, and also in the third one. It's true that the result was in favor, but you always want to try and keep a clean sheet.
Definitely.
For confidence of the team and
you want to build confidence. You want
and you
to be
never
solid
know
at the back.
how a game can change and complicate you. Although you are in this case was 3-0 up when he made the crucial saves.
Last season, for example, we were 3-0 up against Celta de Vigo, and they turned it around and made it 3-all at the very end. You never know how a game can change. By the way, Bruno, the fans agree with us. Great season for Ter Stegen, all between 8s and 9s and 10s out of 10s for our goalkeeper, who's had a sensational start to the season. We hope that it keeps going. We hope he can have another great performance against Sevilla. I always say that the least we see Ter Stegen, the better for Barca, really and truthfully.
Absolutely, but people has to know how difficult it is to be Barca goalkeeper, as you know that your opponent is not going to arrive as much as other small teams in La Liga when you know that you're going to have to suffer to be solid in defense. In Barca, sometimes your rivals, and if are rivals from the bottom part of the table, they can attack you 2 or 3 times in a game, and you have to be there to save the goals. So it's really difficult because, it happened to Iñaki Peña, for example, in the ALS game, that he was called because it was like the first action when City scored the opening goal. That was kind of his mistake, but then he was also really important to make important saves, reacting really well after that. So, basically the importance to and how difficult it is to be Barca's goalkeeper, as you know, have the pressure, and that your opponent are not going to have the chances that they will have against weaker teams.
Well, in fact, I mean, we always used to talk about this back in the day with Victor Valdés. The way that Barca played under Frank Rijkaard or Pep Guardiola means that your opponent is going to have just 2 or 3 chances in the game, but you need to be ready for those. That's what Marc-Andre Ter Stegen did the other day against Valladolid, for example. 3 shots, 2 saves. That's what you need from your goalkeeper. And Barca just being solid at the back. Another thing that I wanted to talk about as well is Barca need to be solid at the Spotify Camp Nou as well. We dropped up to 19 points in La Liga last season. This season we've already dropped 2, of course, but it was a great performance the other day against Valladolid in match day 3. And look, I mean,
the intensity from the games.
Gavi doesn't know how to dial it down in friendly games and training sessions. It's all 120% for him.
Look at these legs. But this is part of sport and power of football. The always said sentence that you play like you train, no? And in this case, Gavi's an example, and we just seen it, no? The intensity, how he tries to fight for every single ball.
We need a Gavi cam, just a camera following him for a full hour.
Yeah. Yeah, Robert, about the Spotify Camp Nou, what you were explaining, it's vital to recover this Barca, for example, from 2015, from 2009, when the team won absolutely everything, the feeling when your rivals were coming to the Camp Nou, and not giving importance if they were teams from the top part or bottom part of the table or Champions League giants. You always got the feeling in that times that, well, if someone was coming to the Camp Nou, they were going to suffer, and the team was going to win, was going to show a good performance, and probably was going to win with a good difference of goals of 2 or 3 or even 4 or 5. We've seen absolutely incredible goal feasts in that times. So, yeah, the objective, I think, has to be to recover little by little that feeling that when someone comes to the Camp Nou, knows that is going to suffer. Because I think that in recent years also, this respect to Barca and to the Spotify Camp Nou probably was a little bit lost from some rivals, and they were believing more. Now, I think that is the moment to show again, and that's why I think it's important in these first weeks and months of the competition to see and to show to the rivals that if you come to Camp Nou, you can lose 3, 4-0, 5-0, or in the end that you're going to suffer. That this is the most important thing, and you absolutely need the points at home, away at the same time. I mean, it's also important to win away, but yeah, we are talking that last season the team won for the first time away last week of November in Villarreal. So this year has changed a lot, because in match day 2, in the first option away, the team won. And of course, this is also going to give them confidence to visit one of the toughest grounds of La Liga this Saturday, that is the Ramon Sánchez Pizjuán in Sevilla.
A smiling Ousmane Dembélé, a more serious Robert Lewandowski, and on our screen just a few seconds ago was another player who we've been talking about a lot lately, Alejandro Valde. 2 games, 2 starts. Started at the Real Arena the other day at Spotify Camp Nou against Valladolid. He's played a total of 154 minutes. Set up the first goal for Robert Lewandowski against Real Sociedad. And Xavi saying that it's meritocracy, it's his moment. He's training well, he's playing well, he's had a great pre-season, he deserves to play.
Absolutely, big competence with Jordi Alba. Not easy to take the spot out from Jordi Alba, historic player at Barca, top one. But Valde is working day by day with this objective. He got the chance in match day 2 against Real Sociedad. He provided a fantastic assist to Robert Lewandowski. So he won the confidence for Xavi to be again in the starting lineup in match day 3. He also played a fantastic game. So, well, we still have to see what happens in match day 4. But if Alejandro Valde continues playing like this, it's difficult to take him out from the starting lineup. And this is football in the end. And this is how important also to manage these emotions in a locker room. But the most important thing for a manager is to be honest. And I'm sure that Xavi is having conversations day by day with the players. And in this case, I'm sure that Jordi Alba will know that in this moment, Valde is playing really well. I cannot take him out from the starting lineup. Train hard. Also use all the minutes that you're going to have during games. And try to change this dynamic. Motivate yourself to be again in this starting lineup. But yeah, I'm sure that Xavi will manage well this aspect, because of course it's not easy to replace a player like Jordi Alba. On the other hand, you have to be fair with your players, and if you want to win your respect from the locker room, you have to take sometimes decisions that of course are not popular and are complicated ones. But in this case, Xavi is believing in Valde. Valde is showing fantastic performances. And no one, I think, can complain. Or the same Jordi Alba probably is accepting that nowadays, Valde is, at least in these last games, he's the one has been playing there. Now he has to work, of course, and show Xavi that he deserves to be again the left back in the starting lineup. But the same as we have been mentioning, if you're not starting, it's not the end of the world. You can also be an important player coming from the bench in this case.
Exactly, and your body language as well, encouraging your teammates who are playing is important as well. Your role as an experienced leader as well. Just a couple of notes. Xavi said the other day about Valde that he's got great character, very strong physically. He can dribble, he can get up the pitch, and he can even play as an attacking winger. He's very capable up front, and that he's helping the team a lot. And about players who aren't playing as much, like Gerard Piqué or Jordi Alba at the moment, Xavi said that there'll be moments for everyone. There'll be moments for Jordi, for Gerard. They are leaders in the team and they're supporting their teammates, and that's the positive attitude that we all want to see from our veterans in the team as well, even if they aren't playing at the moment. Xavi mentioned the schedule as well, and we'll be talking about that in a second, Bruno. But he said we'll be playing every 3 days. We need to make changes in the team. There will be injuries, unfortunately, as well at some point in the season. There are none so far, which is a sign that the medical staff is doing a great job. But all of these circumstances will mean that Xavi will have to go to each one of these players and use them in certain moments of the season. And the direct competition is going to make these players better as well.
Yes, and also sport, and in this case football, has changed a lot with this new rule when you can introduce up to 5 substitutions in a game.
Exactly.
Because that's why Xavi is trying to have 2 top players in each position, that probably years ago with just 3 changes per game, with 15, 16 players in form, you were able to manage and go well during the season with that. But now it's complicated as the calendar is going to be really busy.
Well, let's talk about that schedule, because I was just pulling it up. Before the international break, which is now at the end of September, Barca has 5 games. On Saturday against Sevilla at the Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan. Next Wednesday at home at the Spotify Camp Nou against Victoria Pilsen. Then on Saturday at the Ramon de Carranza, that's the 10th of September. On the 13th, which is a Tuesday, we face Bayern in Munich. And then on the Saturday, 17th, we face Elche at home at the Spotify Camp Nou as well. So, I mean, that's 5 days fitted into 14 days. And then October, Bruno. October, we have a total of 9 games. Away at Mallorca, away at Inter, at home against Celta, at home against Inter, away against Real Madrid, at home against Villarreal, at home against Athletic Club, at home against Bayern Munich, and away at Valencia. 9 games in the whole month of October.
Yes. And let's end reviewing November. That is going to be a short calendar, as the World Cup will start the last weeks of the month. But there is Pilsen away, Almería at home, and the last game before all Barca players will go with the international side will be at El Sadar against Osasuna.
So that's 17 games from now until the break for the World Cup, until the 9th of November. Xavi's going to need all of these players.
Yeah, absolutely. And we are talking now about the calendar, but of course another natural aspect of football and sport are injuries. And you know you're going to have injuries during the year. We hope not many. This year, as last year was a nightmare also, added to all the problems of the club. We've seen the problems there with injuries. Well, Xavi here with all his talents taking this penalty, Panenka style. Fantastic one from Xavi.
Ter Stegen wasn't looking, to be honest, but yeah.
Injuries are also part of football, so that's why it's important to have a long squad and to have a team where you believe in all your players. Well, day has changed. Now in Barcelona, there was a storm. Now sun seems to be appearing.
We should have stayed outside, Bruno. We should have been joining the fun.
But, well, now here we see these 2 goals also in reduced space. This is really useful to see in training sessions. Not using like the whole pitch, just to practice in small spaces, because then you know that in football games you will have to take decisions and react in
tight spaces. In a small amount of time. The fans at the Estadi Johan Cruyff enjoying the presence of their players, obviously asking for training jerseys there. Obviously, the players are focused on training right now. We'll see towards the end. Obviously, they might get a picture there or an autograph signed or something. But we'll see. I'm excited to see now. This is a part of the training that we hardly ever get to see. These small little games. It's going to be the blue team against the yellow team, and the red team is waiting just outside.
The jokers. Yeah. The jokers, the comodinas, we say in Spanish, that they can be used by both teams. Remember that all the fans here today are lucky ones, because all the ones that were registered to take the official picture at Spotify Camp Nou, that due to the pandemic were not able to take it. So it's kind of an open doors training session, but exclusively, not for everyone today, just for all these young members, because all these kids are members of the club. And it's fantastic to see that since 8, 9, 10 years old. Even when you are born, you become a Barça member. This is something that makes, of course, the club really special. And yeah, we love to see all these young members today in this Johan Cruyff Stadium. And well, let's see now how it goes in this small game.
Let's see if we get to see some goals as well. It's as you say, the red players are the comodines. They can be used by either of the teams as support. There's Rafinha on the wing. Oh, trying to play it inside.
Good defense by Valde.
All bounced off of Gavi.
Kunde in the fight in defense, and Iñaki Peña now playing the ball to the left.
Right, live chat. And Bruno, who do we think is the first player who's going to score a goal in this mini game? We might get it soon, so send in your answers and your replies very quickly. We've got Marc-Andre ter Stegen in goal.
Frankie is there inside the box. Seems to be one of the players that can score this opening goal.
You're going with Frankie. I'll go with let's see. I'll go with the easy one. I'll go with. Well, no, I'll say Pedri. Let's say Pedri. Okay.
We see Memphis as the number 9 for the blue team. Careful here.
That's Frankie de Jong recovering the ball. Oh, the little pass inside. Got ter Stegen and Iñaki Peña in goal. Iñaki, who we saw in the game against Manchester City at the Spotify Camp Nou. Made some good saves. Slee had that little mistake in the first goal, but recovered well from it.
Good combination here, by the way, to Eric Garcia, who was outside, giving this pass with the red bib.
That's Abde. Oh, Abde! Abde with the first goal. So neither of us got it right. A neat little finish past Iñaki Peña. Obviously, we don't know 100% the dynamics of this game. There are obviously some rules in place. There's probably a certain amount of passes maybe that you need to make.
To the red ones. At the same time, sometimes when there's these kind of exercises, you need to pass it at least 3 times to the ones in the wings, the red ones. And yeah, there are always some special rules.
Now, ooh, Abde with a headed pass to Pedri, who almost scored there.
Great save by Iñaki Peña, yes. He made that mistake in the ALS game, but at the same time, then he saved 2 or 3 crucial balls that any other goalkeeper would have not saved them. So it's kind of, he reacted really well after that one, and he's a goalkeeper that showed last year actually facing Barca when he was defending Galatasaray Kolos when he was on loan, that has the level to play in top flight. And of course, he will wait for his chance. Same what we were explaining about Balde and Jordi Alba. What happens for example, in goal. I mean, now, of course, ter Stegen is the one in form. Ter Stegen is the starting one. But Iñaki Peña will have his
Always
chance.
Need to be ready. Always need to be ready.
Probably in the Cup will lead this year his competition. And he has to be ready. And you never know what can happen in a football game. Injuries, red cards. And in this case, it's important to have him motivated, Iñaki Peña. And feeling part of the squad, because sometimes for goalkeepers it's kind of more complicated. It's
probably the most difficult role, the one of second and even third goalkeeper, knowing that if the first goalkeeper is healthy and playing well, your chances are limited because you're never going to, or hardly ever going to, get subbed into a game. But you need to stay ready because you never know when your chance can arrive. The blue team has now become the support team, and we have team in the red bibs against the team in the yellow bibs. Training here at the Estadio Johan Cruyff, training for the kids who are members and who missed out on the opportunity of getting their picture taken before games due to the pandemic restrictions.
They're having a change now because we see the red team that are on, and the ones without bib are now the extra ones.
The blue team is the support team now. All these kids obviously want to get their jersey signed. Let's hope that they are lucky and fortunate enough to have just a little moment with their idols here. Now Frankie de Jong, who you predicted was going to score, Bruno, and almost
another shot
did there.
Over the top a minute ago. Now another shot. Yeah, he's arriving to the box where Xavi wants him to tener llegada, no, have this to arrive to the final meters, to the final third kind of players like De Jong, Pedri. Xavi wants the midfielders to be involved in attack to score goals. In the case of Pedri, he scored his first one against Valladolid, and he's improving a lot also in this register about scoring goals. 3 goals in La Liga in his first season at the club, 3 goals also in his second season now. It's just 1 in 3 games, so yeah, hopefully he's going to improve this record. I'm quite sure if, of course, the injuries respects him, because last year he was able just to play 12 games in the league. But yeah, in a full season, the first one, was able just to score 3 goals. Goal is, I think, something that you also, with experience and with the pass of the time, you always improve it.
Definitely. The other thing, obviously, that Xavi has mentioned several times, in fact, in his press conferences, is once the team get into the final third, is decision-making. When to make the right pass, when to raise their head and find the right teammate who's surrounding them, when to shoot, for example. We saw the other day a very... a great reaction from Xavi from the bench. A big reaction from Xavi from the bench, asking his players, just shoot when you've got the opportunity to do it. As Kessié there had the opportunity to score in this game. And it's all about the decision-making and getting better at it through repetition in training. Yeah,
absolutely. Well, we have seen now also Ter Stegen playing a good pass.
This cross from Dembélé there.
No, and also when you see these kind of training sessions, you also understand why Barca goalkeepers play so well with both foots, because they need to give passes in these small distances, and this is something that they work a lot always in training sessions. You improve and you become a better player, of course, for all what you train in your day by day.
Team now playing this small match in tight spaces. You can see the ball flying around. A bit of whistle blown. And I imagine now the team in yellow, which has been the team who's played in both games, will now become the support team around. And then it will be the blue team and the red team, exactly, will be left in the middle facing each other.
Yeah, so the final game in this 3-side competition that they are doing right now, with, of course, now fantastic conditions. Players have been lucky because they arrived to the field that was just a soft rain, and now conditions are fantastic ones. I love to see these images. All these kids seeing their idols in an afternoon of August in this beautiful Johan
Right before
Stadium.
going back to school. Right before going back to school. They go back to school next week, kids here in Catalonia, and they get the chance here, our young members, to watch this live training session. Obviously, I think the club were hoping for the stands to be full, but the rain prevented that. I mean, it just half an hour ago or 40 minutes ago, it was pouring with rain here, and I think some families must have decided not to come.
Yeah, but at the same time, Robert, same, it's kind of an exclusive training session for all the ones that were in the waiting list of the official picture. So probably also, I mean, it's not full because not everyone has received this.
Well, no, but I imagine there are some families though who saw how it was pouring with rain and decided not to.
But some ones are enjoying a lot.
Yes, most definitely.
We saw this young kid, jumping and really excited. Everyone, wants to say hello to all worldwide TV signal like this one when they appear in screens.
Team training at the Estadio Johan Cruyff today, and as we said before, let's not lose focus on what's important this week, which is that game against Sevilla at the Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan. Let's do a round of predictions, of score predictions. What do we think the score prediction will be against Sevilla on Saturday? Barca have done well at the start of the season.
Maybe.
7 points. No, Araujo.
It was Araujo.
It was Araujo, yeah. 7 points out of 9. Sevilla to have just 1 point out of 9. So what do we think in terms of predictions, Bruno? I think it's going to be a tight game, as we saw another goal in training here. But I'm going to go with maybe a 2-0 away from home at the Sanchez Pizjuan.
That would be a fantastic score. I'm going to say 2-1 for Barca. Yeah, I'll expect a really complicated game for the Lauranas because Sevilla are in a difficult situation, so these are more reasons to understand that they will need the points. This extra pressure that for the top sides I think is positive when you have this extra point of pressure that you need to get the points. So yeah, we will have to see how it ends, but yeah, I'm gonna go for a 2-1 up for FC Barcelona.
2-1 up for Barca, a tight game. It's always tight at the Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan.
Yeah, Araujo with this header that sent over the top. was kind of a similar one as the goal he scored in the Sanchez Pizjuan last campaign. That was from a corner kick with a fantastic header. Look at this cross again now from Jordi Alba to the far post. Was again
looking for Araujo. Yes.
He's
ever the competitive player.
I will say top 5 players in the world. About set pieces and powerful with his headers.
That's something that Xavi talked about the other day, by the way. He was asked in the press conference that Barca had a total of 14 corner kicks in the game against Valladolid, and no real chances came from it. Xavi says that obviously they work on it. They work on it pre-game as well. Sergio Alegre is the specialist in that sense, and he works with the players. But sometimes it's a question of just needing the perfect delivery to connect with the perfect header, and that hasn't happened yet. But we've got great players in the air, like Ronald Araujo, like Robert Lewandowski, even Koundé, who in his his first interview said that it's one thing that he wants to improve on. Ansu Fati can score as well from headers, so we've got some good threats in that sense, and I'm sure we'll score goals at the set piece. By the way, a little curious stat, Bruno. You remember that last season we couldn't stop talking about how many headers we'd scored? It was a total, if I'm not mistaken, of 18 goals scored with headers last season. Well, we haven't scored a single one yet this season.
Another goal for Abde, by the way. Yeah, he's absolutely on fire in this training session, Abde. I'm going to say the 2021 season.
The 2021 season? No, last season.
The next one after the pandemic.
Last season, last year, yeah?
Well, I was saying, two before. But you just asked me
No. I'm just saying that last season we scored a total of 18 goals off of headers, which we talked about. I mean, we had Luke de Jong, we had several players scoring in that sense. Even Alba, as Gavi scores now. But
this Paulo Torre, I think.
Oh, maybe Paulo Torre, yes. But this year we haven't yet scored a header.
Yeah, okay, so about last season, absolutely, with all the players that we got last one, and were kind of crucial, important headers. We have been talking about the one of Araujo and the Sanchez Pizjuan. Also, we all remember the one of Luke de Jong in Cornellà Prat. It was a late equalizer in that Barcelona derby.
Yeah.
Espanyol continues their bad run of form since they opened their new stadium. Haven't been able to beat Barca. All the fans they thought last one was the year, but no, because Luke de Jong appeared with a brilliant header.
What a great moment.
So it was a fantastic goal. Mallorca, if I'm not wrong, also was from a header of Luke.
Mallorca as well. Levante as well. That's an interesting shot which hit the crossbar. And then we had, of course, Araujo scoring for at the Pizjuan as well.
I was talking about the 2021 campaign because also I remember that the team scored many goals from headers. So it's kind of an aspect that in recent years the team are improving. Now probably let's see if from set pieces the team can be a bit more clinical after what we've seen the other day. 14 corner kicks. You need to have the possibility to score sometimes from after having so many corner kicks, because of course if you're a small team and you just have 3-4 corner kicks in a game, it's complicated. But if you have 14, well, hopefully the other day we didn't need that goals. This was important, so let's see if we are saving them for another important occasion.
Well, I mean, what you just mentioned was something that Xavi said in the press conference. Sometimes the fact is that an opponent team might only have 3 corner kicks against Barca, and then they know that is a clear opportunity and they go in with more desire maybe, whereas Barca has 14 and maybe, these are Xavi's words, lacks that intensity that they need to go 100% for that corner kick and try to score every time that they create it. So it's something that Xavi said they needed to improve. The other set piece fact that we have is that since May 2021, we haven't scored a free kick, a direct free kick. So
it was
definitely something that we're looking forward to.
Messi against Valencia. Barca is, of course, a club that always has been emulated, and his DNA is these combinations, good football with this clear style. And sometimes we don't think about set pieces, but these are a crucial part of football at the same time. And sometimes we see that these are aspects more for Premier League games, for more physical teams, but it's, of course, really important also to be strong in this part of of the game, because if you want to win trophies, if you want to be one of the best teams in the world, you have to dominate all registers. And in this aspect, we expect and we hope that Barca will continue improving.
Definitely. Well, we've always, throughout the years, had great free kick takers. For example, we had the best one in history in Leo Messi, but before that we had Ronaldinho. We've had, a goal there scored by Lewandowski, and the fans enjoying it, of course. But we've had Ronaldinho, we've had Rivaldo, we've had Ronald Koeman as well. And we'll have to see who it is this season, because we've seen Ansu Fati take a free kick against Rayo Vallecano. We saw Rafinha take a very good one against Real Madrid in the preseason.
Yes, and also there is the doubt to see who's the penalty taker this year, because referees haven't whistled as a penalty in favor yet. But that's another point to know who can be. Of course, well, an easy one would be Lewandowski, no? For his experience.
I'd say so, but I mean, let's ask the live chat. Live chat, who do you think the penalty taker should be for this team? Lewandowski is a clear option. I guess, who have we seen take penalties before? I think Dembele's taken in penalty shootout. Ansu's taken penalties. Nice save there. Nice save there from Marc-Andre ter Stegen. Right
Piqué has taken penalties, I think, also for
in a penalty shootout. Yes. So no, we'll have to see. I mean, I assume it's going to be Lewandowski if he's on the pitch.
Araujo loves to take penalties in training sessions.
Yeah.
This is also something that we've seen a lot. But
Memphis last season.
Yes, Memphis, of course, and a really good one.
Yeah.
We always with a clear style, powerful shots, and always with a clear intention, and no kind of soft penalties. No, Memphis always knows where is the target, and he goes there to take it. Well, let's see if they start conceding some penalties in
well,
in
we'll
the
have
season.
to see when will the first penalty be. Could be on Saturday against Sevilla. We've got lots of games coming up, so we could see some penalties shortly.
We haven't also had any call games with penalties in season. There was a penalty in the ALS game against Manchester City.
Yep.
A really unfortunate action there with Christensen. And Arnau Tenas was in goal and he took the good direction but was not able to save it.
It was a well-taken penalty by Riyad Mahrez.
Yes. But in this aspect is no penalties in favor but no penalties against after these first 3 La Liga games, Robert.
Several answers coming through the live chat. We've got Dembouz, we've got Lewandowski, Rafinha as well. So we'll have to see. We'll have to wait and see who the first penalty taker is this season. Another interesting fact, Bruno, of this start in La Liga. Barca are the team who have had the most shots, who've attempted the most shots against their opponents, 42 in total, 14 per game, joined with Athletic Club. And team with the fewest shots received, just 22, 7 per game. Yeah,
that's a good start. The Athletic Club the other day against Cadiz, they got a really easy game. We will have to see. What a goal again, Abde.
Abde again.
Hat-trick for him. Cadiz, of course, are a rival that Barca will face in 1 week. Not Saturday, not this one, next Saturday. And of course, well, the performance against Athletic was not the best one. They are not in the best moment, but well, things can change a lot also with the transfer market open that will close tomorrow, 1st September, 12 o'clock. We are 26 hours exactly right now away from having the end of this long summer transfer market, Robert, that we have experienced, and that I think, like Xavi, we want to close all of us. We want to have all the squads closed and end with rumors and papers and all these stories.
I know, Bruno, that the fans love it. All this, all the news and rumors that come out of possible signings, and they like to speculate, as do the journalists as well. Would this player fit into this team? I'd like this player. I'd like this other player. And all right, yes, I'm all for it. But I think, like Xavi, the transfer market should end before the start of the league, because it makes no sense to have it going still with 3 games played already. So they're scoring a goal there.
Good header, yes. I mean, that's quite clear. There's no doubt at all. Now we're seeing how important teams, for example, Anthony for Ajax, they've lost a key player 2 days before closing the transfer market, and you have to go to the market, and in which...
a team that plays the Champions League.
Yes, and in which is your situation? First of all, that you have 2 days. And of course, most of the players that were on the market are not anymore. Second one, the other clubs, they know that you have 100 million euros, and in this case has been the transfer fee for Anthony. So the situation to go to the market is not the best one. But now we're talking about Champions League teams, but same happens with teams fighting to avoid relegation. That they can have a good squad, and seeing how in their final day they lose a key player. This is happening, for example, in Almeria, a team that are supposed to be fighting to avoid the drop as they are recently promoted, and they seem to be losing Sadik, their number 9, their big star. Real Sociedad, Sevilla also were there.
Exactly, I was going to mention Sevilla, the next team that we're playing. We don't know if the group of players that Sevilla have today in their training session are going to be the group of players who are available on Saturday.
So you are Xavi, you are preparing this game with these training sessions, and you don't know who you will face. So yeah, it doesn't make sense at all. Years ago was one decision that also I think was correct one. That was to unify all the important leagues: Spain, Germany, England, Italy, France, to close the transfer market in the same date. This was the first step, I think. Now it's time to make this second step, and it's to close markets before the official of the competition.
Exactly.
And if it's too early, first week of August, well, open it before.
Open it before. The leagues have all ended by the first week in June. Those little games have ended. We'll see if there's any more going on in this training session. We've got Rafinha on screen. What a wonderful start to the game against Valladolid he had. The assist to Lewandowski. He'd provided a cross earlier on in which Lewandowski hit the post with a header. And Rafinha fitting in very nicely to the Barca system.
3 games, 3 starts, 1 assist.
And I had the stat as well, Bruno, that Dembele is the player in La Liga who has created the most chances. Rafinha is the second. Total 8.
It's a completely unique player, and against Valladolid this last weekend, we saw his importance and how was all Barca game going through him in the first 35-40 minutes. And same as Dembele, is a player that has something different, that at any moment of the match can make this important. And now seems that the training session is ending, Robert. It's a moment of the applauses, moment to, let's see if there are some pictures, some signatures, some gifts. But the big ovation now of the players to the fans that have come today in a difficult day.
Very difficult day,
for the conditions.
Yes. Great, I mean, great commitment from the fans coming as it was pouring with rain just an hour ago, and we'll see if they can get their jersey signed or get a picture. We'll see now the players thanking the fans for being here, of course, at the end of this training session at the Estadio Johan Cruyff. Ansu Fati signing a football here.
And lots of shirts that were thrown from the fans to the field. Balde also signing, Frenkie, Memphis.
There they are, signing the footballs. And some gifts that some of these fans will be able to take away. And there are our colleagues from Barca TV, of course, also enjoying the event. And just great moments when the players get to share these little moments with the fans. Obviously, everyone's very excited about the prospect of Barca competing again this season, having a quality team going out there and winning and playing well. We've seen it in the attendances as well, Bruno, over 80. So the average in these first 2 La Liga games is 82,538 fans at the Spotify Camp Nou.
No, this is brilliant to see again a full Camp Nou. In match day 1, for example, mid-August, where practically all members are away on holidays, to see that number of attendance was quite impressive. Of course, there is also good news in the aspect that without COVID-19 restrictions, members are able to come again to the Camp Nou, as there are some of them who decided last year to resign to their seats. Lots of reasons, optimism, high expectations, and a team, Robert, in the end, that it's creating this hype that, as Xavi has been mentioning, after the day against Rayo, probably there has been a lot or really high or big expectations, or a really hype, really high hype in this case. I prefer the hype, as Xavi also said, than to be pessimistic. But this team has something, Robert, and you see it on the faces of the players, of the signings, that we can make
can
history.
Dream. We can dream.
We can make
dream,
history
Bruno.
with this group of players. We don't know if it's going to be immediately this season, or in 2 years, or in 3 years. But the feeling right now at Camp Barça is that this group of players can make and achieve something really, really important in future years.
Well, we're coming towards the end of this broadcast. I want to ask you a question, Bruno, and I'll ask the last question to the live chat. If you were to get your jersey or a football signed by any player of this training session, who would you want it to be?
Well, it's an hypothetical question, but at the same time, as Pedri came to Barça Studios one day to Camp Nou Kitchen to record the content that you have also on Barça TV Plus on YouTube. Was the player that I wanted to sign my shirt, and I was a bit lucky that I was working on Barça Studios that day, and I was able to have his signature. So for me, Pedri is, and second one will be Ansu Fati.
For me,
sure.
it's either Pedri or Ansu as well.
Or Gavi, all these young players.
Well,
Pedri is not made in La Masia, but kind of it, because I mean he was signed with 17 years old. But all these young players, young talents, are my favorite ones, and to have a signature from all of them. It's also a kind of, you are like relying or betting in, Ansu is going to be
exactly. You're betting on the future. You're betting on the future.
Although they are already stars, these players, and I'm sure that we will see them, Ansu, Gavi, Pedri, like in the rankings of Ballon d'Or in future years for sure, and probably also Araujo, because he's also really young, and
here they are,
he's showing fantastic skills.
Taking the time, Araujo, Dembélé, Serginho Dest. We saw Ansu Fati and Sergi Roberto as well taking the time here to sign some jerseys. All of these fans, as the players slowly make their way off of the pitch. The last one to leave is probably going to be Serginho Dest. There we can see Kessié in the corner, and Ansu Fati still there signing some jerseys.
That's another of the aspects, Robert, that these players, apart from being superstars in the field, they are the ones also superstars outside the field. And Ansu Fati is always stopping to sign shirts, to take pictures. Same for Pedri, same for Gavi, same for all these new players that are coming. It's fantastic that they know that
Pablo Torre taking the time as well. The youngster, look at all of them. He's got a job to do there if he's going to sign all of them.
Yeah, but in the end, this is also part of the job, and we always said it. That you're a footballer 24 hours a day, like some jobs, politicians, top stars, and this is also part of the job to have your fans with you, supporting you. Well, if you want the support, you also need to show to the fans these moments, like giving shirts, signing shirts, and it's fantastic to see these images that, of course, after the pandemic was really difficult to see these kind of moments, and now we have recovered these really special signatures and moments between players and fans. This connection is brilliant, and especially in this group of players, Robert, I think that we are seeing this connection that is also vital, to be together, all of them, as Xavi also mentioned in this speech. In the first day at Trofeu Joan Gamper, all of us, fans, players, journalists, let's go together, because if we are together, we can achieve important goals.
Yes, the last few players there on the pitch signing. So Sergi Roberto and Alex Valde was also there towards the end. And, well, this is about it, Bruno. At the Spotify Camp Nou, the Barca anthem goes off, and the families will start to leave towards their homes. Bruno, thank you very much for being here. I'll see you on Saturday.
Yes, Robert, Saturday, remember, 9 p.m. Central European Time, Sevilla, Barça, Ramon Sánchez Pizjuán. What a game. Match day 4 and one of the big ones of La Liga.
We'll be there on Barca Live, YouTube, Facebook, and Barca TV Plus with you. So don't miss it. Until then, thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.
Bye-bye.